It's like, wow, you're waiting for something like this to happen, you know. He would have a trip switch and, you know, he'd get violent and angry and he'd fight with people and he'd cause a lot of problems. And I mean, that's the incident with me and him was because he was drunk at a party and he started shouting and swearing on the phone. He said, oh, he's not scared. If I want to come down there, he knows where I am and blah, blah, blah. But I left it, you know. I said to him, if you've got a problem, I'll see you when I see you, and, you know.
All right, so that guy's saying that he has a hair-trigger temper, but does the Blade Runner story make sense? He says he didn't murder his girlfriend. Vinny Politan, Mike Brooks over at the HLNTV.com evidence room.
Thanks so much, Ryan. Ladies and gentlemen of the jury, he has a story. The question is his story of the killing a lie? Mike Brooks in his hand has a line-by-line account of that story because the Blade Runner gave it to the judge trying to get out on bail. Me and Mike went through that story one piece at a time. Take a look. Let's walk through the words of Oscar Pistorius. He begins, he says he's in bed on Valentine's Day morning and gets up out of bed.
Right.
Because, why is he getting out of bed, Mike?
He woke up because he said he went to the balcony,
which is over here,
which is right here, to bring in the fan.
Okay.
So in the middle of the night, you're sleeping, and all of a sudden you think about, oh, wait a minute, I didn't bring the fan in.
Right.
He says, I heard a noise in the bathroom and realized that someone was in the bathroom.
All right, now the bathroom's on the other side over there, and the entrance isn't there. You got to go down a hallway to go around to that bathroom. What's between him and the bathroom right now?
A bed with a supposed sleeping Reva.
This is where he believes Reva is, yet he says he doesn't see her or doesn't notice. Okay, so now he's got to get his 9mm,
and he doesn't have his prosthetics on. He says he's on his stumps.
On his stumps, so he's low. He gets the 9mm from underneath his gun.
Right.
And now he's heading towards the bathroom. But as he gets the gun, he's shouting at them to get out of his house.
Vinny, here's another thing. While he's getting his gun, wouldn't you say, Reva, hey, sweetie, call the police. Call the police.
Well, he says he tells her to call the police, but
yeah, but
it's
on the way, when he gets the gun, it's on the way here. And
now,
that doesn't make sense to me.
And he's talking about how dark it is. It's not dark enough that he can't find his gun, but it's too dark for him to realize that Reva is not in the bed. So now he's heading down the hallway, Mike, and this is the hallway which leads to the bathroom. And his theory, what he believes is happening is that intruder or intruders break into his house, and rather than go out to either attack him or steal something, they lock themselves inside his toilet room.
Right. Okay, let's say that the intruders, the supposed intruders, heard him on the balcony. If you were a burglar, you're either going to come in and steal something and leave, or you're just going to go right back down the ladder.
Because you know he's on his way because he's screaming.
Right.
Okay, so they're locked in there. So now he's in fear. Why does he shoot, Mike? What does he say?
I fired shots at the toilet door and shouted to Reva to phone the police.
Didn't hear any response, so now he backs himself out of the bathroom and he's heading back towards the bedroom, but he says he's keeping his eyes on the bathroom because he doesn't know if there's intruders there or not. It's still pitch dark here, but then at some point, Mike, he realizes that Reva's actually not in the bed.
Then he said, I think I must have turned on the lights. I went back to the bedroom, grabbed my cricket bat to bash open the toilet door. Then, Vinny, here's another thing.
So he's trying to get this door open.
Now, apparently there were some panels on this door.
Right.
Okay? So he said, a panel or panels broke off. And I found the key on the floor and unlocked opened the door. Where did these keys come from?
So that's his story on how he shot and killed Reva. The question is it credible? And Mike, the biggest problem I have is that you're shooting through a closed door. You don't know who's on the other side. You make assumptions.
Right, and he's very experienced with weapons, Vinny. He goes out shooting all the time, and he knows that you don't shoot through a door at an unknown assailant. You know, he don't know who was behind there. You never shoot at something you don't know you're shooting at.
Ryan?
Okay, we got a couple questions from our ladies and gentlemen of the jury. Heather, our juror number 11, has an interesting one.
I was just wondering what his motive would be to kill his girlfriend.
Well, I mean, what you're talking about here is domestic violence. What happens behind closed doors? It's difficult to tell. You've responded to these situations.
Right. And also the government alleges that they were having an argument before this, and there are witnesses who allegedly heard screams, and then silence, and then gunshots.
Okay. Stephanie?
Okay, he said he was walking down the hallway screaming. Why didn't Reva, if she was just innocently using the bathroom, why didn't she say, hey, it's me, I'm in here? Somebody at some point should have, it just doesn't make any sense. she was missing throughout the whole thing, and he thought it was an intruder. So it just, nothing adds up.
No.
Where was she?
And that's why the government alleges that she ran from him during this argument, locked herself in the toilet, and was cowering in the toilet. So, see, that's another reason why the story doesn't add up.
Okay, so you've heard why the story doesn't add up from the prosecution. The defense is up next, telling you why the story does make sense.
Okay, there are going to be lots of bombshells in the 2014 March trial. Bombshells around the forensics, the ballistics. What was the content of the text messages that apparently Riva sent? And remember, today we saw 107 witnesses that were presented on behalf of the prosecution. There are going to be a lot of bombshells on their behalf.